Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Welcome to G-Dawg Media.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
What happens next?
Agatha All Along has finally concluded, and I just want to give a quick spoiler-filled review of my thoughts on the show. Now, before we get into the show, I feel like I need to express my opinions on WandaVision, mainly because the people behind that show was heavily involved in Agatha All Along, and they're both very similar, and it's basically a sequel to WandaVision. So I want to give my brief, quick summary of thoughts of what I thought about WandaVision, because I feel like that will bleed into my overall thoughts on Agatha.
WandaVision is easily my top 5 favorite MCU TV shows to date, and it was a great start to Phase 4 and the multiverse saga itself. Had a great central mystery, acting, ideas and concepts, and I love the overall idea of parodying sitcoms and playing on the tropes and cliches of it, with each episode doing a different genre. Deep dive into grief and how to handle it, and of course, Kathryn Hahn's Agatha Harkness being a standout performance in this show. Now, when it was announced that Agatha was going to receive her own spin-off show, I was 50-50. On the one hand, Hahn's performance was great. However, it felt very unnecessary, in my opinion, at a glance. And it didn't feel like it would further the MCU in a significant way. And it just felt more like they were filling out a quantity over quality quote.
It just went through a lot of delays and rewrites, and I don't know, it just felt like still cautiously optimistic, mainly because the same writing team behind WandaVision was involved in this, and WandaVision was and still is in my top 5 favorite MCU TV shows. And when the trailers dropped, I got more and more curious, especially with it being released around the Halloween season, and it looks more like they're putting a more spooky take on the MCU, and I don't know, it just looked like a ton of fun to watch. So I was being open-minded, to say the least. And after 9 episodes, I can gladly say that not only did I enjoy it, but it genuinely surprised me on how really good this show actually was.
For one thing, the cast was really solid in this show. Each cast member brought something unique and different to the table that was given to them, and the way that they were written and portrayed made me genuinely care for them, to the point where I didn't want anything bad to happen to them. And that was something I appreciated this show to do, was it established that there are high stakes, not everyone's going to make it out alive, and I genuinely felt emotions on whenever a character goes down, or when you realize, oh, they're not going to make it. And I loved how practical the sets and effects were. It definitely took cues from Acolyte, meaning that the sets and practical effects in that one felt real, and I'm glad that they're pivoting more towards that. And also, I just love the spooky atmosphere and the road itself feeling like a genuine character and a tangible environment that the characters are experiencing.
And if you enjoy Kathryn Hahn's performance as Agatha in the WandaVision series, it's still going to be there for this one, of course. Kathryn Hahn, she is a really good actress, guys, and I feel like this show really shows off her acting skills at her best. She does a great job of balancing dramatic scenes, being funny, and also bringing a lot of physicality to the character herself. And she was definitely one of those anti-hero protagonists that you just kind of want to root for, but a part of you just doesn't like her, and it does a really good job of showing why, and the writing behind her really does a good job of making the audiences feel like that way. But the 2 supporting cast members that just genuinely surprised me was Lilia, played by Patti LuPone, icon in the Broadway scene. At least that's what I've been told. Because throughout the show, she was written as the goofy, kooky old lady that doesn't know what's going on. But by episode 7, you got to more into her backstory, or like where she comes from. And it does a really clever and unique way of explaining why she was having those episodes of mania. Because at first I was thinking she was having dementia and she was just being a crazy, kooky old lady. But really, that was part of her special witch abilities, I guess you could say. Like, she can go through her past at the most random times, and whatever's happening in her present, she just spews that out, and people are just like, whoa, what is going on? She's having an episode again. So it did a great job of just throwing a 180 and a twist on that archetype and that cliche that I really want to give my props to the creators and writers of this show.
Was in this trial is Agatha Harkness.
The other one I want to give a spotlight to is Joe Locke as teen, who is revealed in the midway through the show as the reincarnated Billy Maximoff from WandaVision. It honestly became more his show once that reveal was out of the way, and he slowly took the spotlight from Catherine Hahn. And I can definitely tell that he's going to be important in the MCU going forward. I mean, this kid is powerful and broken. Like, it also reveals that the Witch's Road itself, that the whole show is based on, was created by him, just by his mind and his reality warping abilities. So, and he's important to the Young Avengers that I know is going to be playing a part later down the line with Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and numerous others that have been sprinkled throughout the MCU lately. So I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. Plus, that reveal of Team being Billy was done so good.
Admit it. You prefer me.
Horizontal? In a grave?
The last performance I want to give a special shout out to is Aubrey Plaza as Rio, who is revealed to be Death herself as a physical embodiment of that concept. Aubrey Plaza was basically playing herself, but played herself in a really creepy and eerie way that's just also fun, seductive, and just charming to watch, that it just kind of hypnotizes you and is thinking like, what is this girl going to be doing next? What is this girl's story? And when all that was revealed, it was like, oh shoot, I want to see where this goes. And for all you Marvel Comics fans out there, maybe we'll see a potential Ryan Reynolds Deadpool team up pairing. Fingers crossed.
Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road.
My only real complaints for this show was episode 3 and 4. That's when the actual trials of the Witch's Road actually begins. And the problem I have with those, it just felt like side quests, and the main plot just kind of stopped. And they were just essentially doing elaborate escape rooms. It didn't, and I don't know, it just didn't engage me like the other episodes did. But once those 2 episodes are out of the way, and when audiences get to episode 5, that's when the show just gets really good. And after that, that's when it ramps up. And the other problem I had, and this is just a me personal thing, there were some things that was shown on screen that I'm particularly not fond of or support. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to create a space of political negativity or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But if you've seen the show, and you'll more than likely know what I'm talking about. I was also genuinely surprised that this Marvel show did the one thing that the others couldn't, which was actually kill off their main character and make her a ghost. I honestly did not see that coming, and with how this season ended, I could definitely see a season 2 happening and seeing Billy take over, where these two are on the hunt and on the search for Tommy, Billy's brother, who supposedly also came back, but is in a different body. And in the comics, he is a character Speed, which is essentially just a smaller, not as fast Quicksilver, basically.
I want my prize!
Time to finish the road.
But yes, I was genuinely surprised by Agatha All Along. If a season 2 does happen, I think it would be really fun, and I can definitely see the team doing something creative with what is going to happen going forward, with Billy being the head honcho, and Agatha being a ghost that's secretly mentoring, but also maybe mocking Billy as their journey goes on in search of Tommy. I recommend this for any MCU completionists, fans of witches, and wanting something a little bit more spooky to watch. Strong female leads. The only problems was just some pacing issues and just some some stuff that I personally don't agree with. But again, that's just a personal thing. It's subjective. But overall, I really enjoy the show. I recommend giving it a watch for anyone that's curious. I give Agatha All Along a 7.5 out of 10. And feel free to let me know in the comments what you guys think of Agatha All Along. What is your favorite MCU TV show? And which MCU shows are you most excited for? Personally, I'm just waiting until Daredevil Born Again comes out. I cannot freaking wait for that show. And as always, don't forget to check out my socials down in the description. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and tell all your friends about this channel. But other than that, I hope to see you guys next time, and have a great day. Peace out.
Sweetheart, you okay?
Oh my God!